So, Calvin, your Sifu. His name is Bohai, and he is sitting at Railhead, auspiciously on the same moment that you arrive with your new team.
I'll put my hands together and slightly bow and say, Sifu Bohai, what brings you to Railhead?
He looks at you with a mischievous glint in his eyes, and though Bohai is Chinese, I'm not going to attempt an accent because, you know.
Yeah, we got you.
And he's like, ah, my student. I was expecting you yesterday. I don't like when you make me wait. I assume there was some excitement on your journey here from Phoenix.
I'll bow again and say, my apologies, Sifu. If you would only fill me in on your grand design, I might be better able to be on time. But yes, there were some innocent people who found themselves at the odd hands of the weirdness out here. I had to take a day to dispose of it.
He nods. He's like, well, perhaps that's for the best. Perhaps that's for the best. So, your new comrades, are they formidable?
Indubitably so.
He nods, and he's like, and they are... And in your time with them, do you believe they would be worthy additions to the Order?
Honestly, I can't say that any of them feel strongly one way or the other, as long as one way is putting money in their pocket and the other isn't a bullet in the back.
He nods
But
again, and he says,
for the way, oh,
well, if you try to keep talking, he will interrupt you. And he will say, well, I have need of your services, and we could use a few more guns. Something is about to happen. And he strokes his beard, you know, his pencil beard.
Chin beard.
And
I
he
think it's
said,
called like a Manfu.
like a Manfu or Manchu. I don't know. We'll look it up.
Yeah, there you go, Manchu. That was it, the Manchu
Yeah, his
style.
Manchu beard, and he says, now I've lost my train of thought. He says something that may change the course of the West, and we need to participate in it. One of my allies is currently heading here from the north, and we need to meet them as they arrive here before any of the potential excitement happens. So, wherever you were headed, consider yourself diverted. I don't care what you need to tell your comrades, just tell them that we're headed north.
Can you at least give them a destination on the map to say that we're heading to Sifu?
He grins and goes, we're heading to where the red balloon flies.
Knowing better than to question my Sifu and his always roundabout way of
Answering
speaking.
questions.
I will just respectfully bring my hands together again, not bow, and I will turn around and start heading back to the party.
Okay. All right, guys. By now you've got your
converse?
horses. You know, you've got them saddled again, and you know you've got everything loaded and everything. You checked everything. You're good to go. And Calvin approaches you.
Was your conversation enlightening?
The most interesting thing about talking to the old is that you are guaranteed that they've seen more than you have. But yes,
Unless they're blind.
and my, you know, I'll kind of make the, well, you got me there, you know, twist in my face. Instead of arguing it further, without going into what the blind can truly see, I will ask everybody if they're ready to travel.
I mean, yeah, we're going to Los Angeles.
Matthew's gonna nod to Calvin as he says, and the blind cannot be caught.
again, refusing to pursue your bait, I'll begin to get my bags ready on my horse and say, I think we should probably head north instead of directly to the city of Los Angeles.
Oh, what changed?
Was the money better?
Well, my first thought is that there would be an immense amount of traffic between Railhead and Los Angeles. Traffic means bandits, especially when it comes through lawless, unsettled country. Heading north would prove to divert most of that, since there honestly isn't too terribly much to the north.
And as you're explaining this, you feel a pat on your back, and this short Chinese man, who's past the middle of his years, kind of steps around Kelvin, and he says, "Friends, friends, friends, are you interested in seeing history in the making?"
I'm gonna raise an eyebrow like, who the fuck is this? Excuse the language. But
My
who the fuck is
friends.
this?
This is this is my master, Sifu Bohai. He is the second reason I was going to suggest that we go north.
As a greeting, Sifu raises one eyebrow.
So you mean your main reason?
My main reason, most likely your second, yes.
There you go. I mean, I was gonna raise. I don't know. I was gonna look at this guy and like, fucking know. It's like,
Well, you look at him, at warrior to warrior, and even though this man is small in stature, and beyond his, in the later part of his life, you just size him up momentarily, and from the look in his eyes and the odd amount of muscle in his exposed limbs, you can tell that Calebin's master is a man who
We'll kick your ass.
yeah.
he's a man who knows how to fight. Who's been in a fight and knows how to
There you
fight.
go.
You get that vibe off of him.
Well, I'm gonna be like, well, for somebody your, no offense, your age, you definitely carry quite a bit of muscle.
He
No, I'm not
kind of
gonna
gets
play around.
a sheepish grin, and he's like,
I'm not gonna
"Darn,
play
I was
around.
hoping to use the old man needed company routine."
People around your age never get around with your little tricks.
So-
I'm not gonna play around and act like you don't know what you're talking about.
But I wasn't lying when I said that history is about to be made. So, you want to be there or not?
Well, it's not like I have anything else to do anyway.
And the city of Los Angeles will still be there.
In all
Well, that's
honesty,
something to see, but anyway.
Yeah. In all honesty, I really give you shits about history. Right now, I'm just related for the money, but usually when there's history to be made, there's supposed to be made at the same time. So why not?
So it's
As
agreed.
long as I get to shoot something.
I'll look over at Isabella and say, worked out so far.
I'm gonna to Master Sifu Bohai and say, just out of curiosity, you wouldn't at cards, no?
He's like, "I'll play you around."
Ooh. I already like you more than your... I'm assuming I should say disciple?
Kelvin smirks and bows, and then says it loud enough, but it makes it sound like a whisper. Say, go easy on him. Go easy on him, Sifu. And then I'll just take a step back.
And he says, "But first, we should get going." And he puts his finger in his mouth and
Oh,
whistles.
definitely.
And a white horse, already saddled and loaded, comes riding up. And in one
Kelvin mounts up.
incredibly smooth motion, Bohai slides onto the top of his horse.
Oh, show you if it's not bad. So look at the
I'm-
white horse.
Matthew's gonna smirk and like whistle and say, "That's a well-tamed horse." And he's gonna go get his because he can't do that trick.
he replies, he replies, a horse should be as disciplined as his master.
And then Matthew, as he's walking away, is like, well, I ain't got no luck there then.
I don't know what a horse is because I drive a car. Future.
I'm from the future.
Is it a Mustang?
Oh, get out.
Kill yourself.
Sorry, I didn't.
Okay, she can get this,
hats
and
off.
I can get mine. Fuck you.
Yeah, I'm gonna get on my horse. I just feel like, Matt's gonna be like, man, this doesn't fucking end. Like, I can't just do anything normal.
How do you know what's about to happen isn't normal?
Oh, well, history's about to be made. Some Chinese guys like history's gonna be made. Yeah, no, that's real regular.
I mean, compared to every other day out here, though, I mean,
Guy's like an 80-year-old guy that's got fucking muscles out the ass.
could probably kill you with his ass.
He even smokes a cigar and kill anybody. It's not a good thing. Well, it is.
All right, so on the road, you guys are gonna play some cards. So who wants
yeah,
to
I'll leave that to them
participate?
too.
I went.
Well, I
to-
participate against the Sifu. I'm curious.
I like to.
All right, well, everyone who's
participate
participating
as
in the
somebody
card
with
game,
a D12.
roll gambling.
Oh.
Ouch. I mean, Mad Dog hasn't played cards in a long time. He's getting cheated. Imagine, I guess he trusts you guys enough. Not
Oh,
really.
fuck, I wanted to cheat. Well, too late. I didn't call it.
Yeah, I imagine that's how it goes.
All right, so I deal 2 to everybody, but Calvin.
Yeah, I'm not playing. For obvious reasons.
And then everyone except Mad Dog got a success, which means they get an extra card.
Oh no, I got a flush.
And now for the deal. Well, all right then. So
What does that
2 of a
mean?
I don't
kind.
know what a joke
It means it can be any card.
Okay.
So right now everyone has a 3 of a kind with jacks.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see what you mean. So.
All right. Well, Bohai has a full house.
Cool.
I don't know why I played the queen. He's got a 5 full
'Kay.
house.
I got a better full house than his with a 9 high. 9 high full house.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
I mean, just the oh no, there it is.
I don't think I got anything.
Well, you got a 3 of a
I'm just throw him
kind.
out.
If you.
But
if
I
you
mean,
have,
like,
if you have a diamond, you have a flush.
Yeah, you have a diamond. That's a flush.
Yeah.
And I got
2
4 of a kind.
flush versus 4 of a kind, because I think both of those are better than
Four
a
of
full
a
house.
kind. Four of a kind
Yes.
wins.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 of a kind wins.
Yeah. 4
What
of a
a
kind
good
wins. So let me get this straight. Mad Dog wins.
Yeah,
Yes.
the guy who
Right?
doesn't play cards and hates them wins.
That's hilarious.
and he only rolled a 1.
They rolled a 3.
But
All right, and as you guys are playing and talking, you guys want to pick Bohai's mind on anything?
I mean, fuck. I don't know. How did he fucking use the language? How did he meet Kelvin, I guess? Yeah, that's one way to start it off. Sure. Because, I mean, I look at Kelvin and I look at him. He's Asian and Kelvin is white, right?
Yeah.
I thought I told you guys the story about how I met him.
Yeah, you did.
Actually, yeah, you kind of did. Yeah, you did. Well, what do you think of Kelvin? Does he think he's shit or is he cool?
He's
the
like,
best disciple
he's
he's
like,
ever had.
Calvin's all right, and then he smirks for a white guy.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And then he says, So, as everyone's passing their cards across horses back to Matthew, he says, "So, are any of you familiar with Lacey O'Malley?"
No,
Do we
I.
need to roll anything to check that?
Yeah, everyone can make a common knowledge check, which is just
That's
smarts.
Nah. I hate you, roll 20. Why is it only on these trait rolls? Why is it only these rolls that fuck it? I don't care anymore.
Everybody. Two of us with raises.
Okay, well, I didn't have anything for raises. So, everyone, you're like, yep, we've all heard of him. Lacey O'Malley is the chief editor of the Tombstone Epitaph.
Oh, he's important.
Yeah, it's a dude. I think it's a dude.
I mean, it doesn't matter.
You can imagine him.
Fairly certain it's a
But
dude.
yeah. Yeah.
I've been,
Sexist, and you just assume that the editor has to be male. At least back in this time period, it's probably true.
Everybody thought it was a chick until they met up and they're like, oh no.
yes, Lacey O'Malley is a male. I just double checked it. And,
And why do you ask
so yeah,
that
and
we
those of you
don't
got a raise, you know that, in case you forgot, I guess, you know that the Epitaph writes weird articles about the weird stuff. And a lot of people think it's hooey, and a lot of people think it's real. It's basically like the national tabloid, if you will. I mean, obviously they print stuff that's easily confirmed, and then they also have sections on the weird. In fact, Mad Dog, you guys got a job once by looking in the Epitaph. So,
Oh yeah, yeah we did.
I actually gave you a hidden +1, but you didn't need it.
Because I'm so cool.
Because you're so cool. And he's like, he nods and he's like, yes, well, Mr. O'Malley has been traveling with one Dr. Hellstrom, who is currently making his way down here. Alright, everyone make another common knowledge check.
Damn you. Oh, it's a pass. Isabel will get only critical ones.
Oh, straight threes.
Alright. So Isabella's like, oh yeah, I've heard... No. And everyone else is like, oh yeah, Dr. Hellstrom. So Dr. Hellstrom is an inventor from the City of Gloom who basically put Deseret on the map. Like, it's because of his inventions that Deseret has become a self-declared sovereign nation. And, yeah, he is the premier inventor of the West. Possibly the world.
Oh. Okay. So we like that. So we're gonna beat up with both of them.
Bohai nods slowly.
That's gonna look at.
Interesting. Go ahead.
Nah, it'd be like I'm gonna look at Kelvin and like, what type of connections does this fucking guy have?
Gonna kind of look back at you and say, yep, that's it. I'm not saying anything.
He opens his mouth and then turns back to, looking ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna wonder like, am I gonna die?
And then, almost as if I can read your mind, I'm just gonna kind of shrug slightly but just keep looking straight ahead.
All right, cool. No questions about that.
You guys remember how many miles you can travel in a day? I guess I can draw Phoenix to Yuma and divide by 4.
Oh, for what, a horse? It was 40 miles a day.
No, I think
If
it's
you didn't wanna-
25.
I think it's 40 if it's a hard ride.
Right, well, you guys aren't doing
So the,
it
aver
hard,
the
right?
average person walks 3 miles an hour. I'm sure if a horse is trotting, that's about the same, right?
Well, you're not traveling for 24 hours, though.
No, 8 hours. 8 times 3 is 24.
It has it in in the player's handbook how far you can travel in a day. Getting around.
I don't travel.
There you go.
I just walk everywhere. I don't even use my horse.
Do 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 do. Oh yes, it is 40 miles per day.
Ha! I was right.
How'd I get 4 days from Phoenix to Yuma? Oh
We
well.
all asked Jacob, but it was too late by then.
I'll shave off a day here, so it'll be 3 days.
Still got a good amount of rations.
Yeah, so it's going to be a 3-day ride to wherever you're going. So if everyone wants to spend the rations, we can just move along.
Okay, well, I'll spend 3 days rations. And then
Well,
I
I'm,
tell
will
me
also
what to
spend
do.
3 days ration.
I'm also gonna ask the guy, like, so, is the place we're going to supposed to be secret, or can we get specifics? Since, you know,
He says...
Kelvin did he say red balloon? Yeah, I don't know what the
No,
fuck a red
Calvin didn't
balloon
say
is.
that. He says, we're going to
Oh,
where the
great.
red balloon rests.
That's beautiful. All right. Cool. Sit there, it's like, I want to talk shit to him, but I'm gonna get my ass kicked if I do.
Talk shit.
Oh, please
Get
do.
hit.
I want to see that.
Alright, and then eventually,
Please do. I really want to see it.
Screw off.
at the end of the 3rd day, in the horizon, you guys spot a large red weather balloon.
And I'm just gonna kind of mouth to myself, son of a bitch.
In spite, I'm really thinking about just shooting the boat, see what happens. But I'm not gonna do it.
So eventually you guys
Pretty far
ride
away.
into the camp. You appear to be at a railhead. Strangely, this railhead seems to be kind of starting out of nothing. Like someone just started a railhead here and started heading towards Los Angeles. And all about the place are hundreds of workers. And among them are a familiar sight to everybody. No, Matthew was there too. There are automatons, like the kind that attacked you on the Dixie Rails train. Except these ones aren't carrying any weapons. They're just being used as tools for physical labor. I'm gonna turn that down a smidge.
So anything else special about that?
I mean, in that self, is it not odd enough?
No. Well,
Yeah, I'm gonna just be on my horse, be like, okay, what the fuck were we looking for? I mean, it's fucking automatons. Weird shit. I don't know what to take of this. Mad Dog's like, eh.
and I'll kind of look over at Sifu and say, these automatons look like the ones that attacked us on a train.
He nods and he says, that would be because they're from the same owner. And he shoots you a glance.
Confused, I'll say, Sifu, are you telling me that it was people who were behind the train attack? You?
No, 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 no. That would be the Wasatch Train Company. You see, every single major train company has been shipping soldiers and scientists to as far as their train goes, and then they're hoofing the rest of it to Los Angeles because there's a rumor going around. And tomorrow, we should see if that rumor is true.
Okay. What's the rumor? Unless I missed it.
He didn't mention.
Great.
However,
What's the
you can
rumor?
kind of piece it together if you guys have been paying attention.
I guess I haven't been paying attention.
And then he kind of pulls his horse away and gives a head nod for Calebin to follow.
I will, of course, follow.
And once you two are a safe enough distance away, I mean, there's a lot of noise going on in the railhead. He says, I trust I could leave you here, and you'll meet up with Lacey once he gets here, Mr. O'Malley. Just, do whatever he tells you to do. And, keep your head down. I have to ride for Sean Fan. There's a very important meeting I can't miss.
I'll bow, and if that's what you wish.
When Lacey O'Malley gets here, get his attention and tell him I sent you. The rest should
I'll
work
nod
itself
and
out.
say, there's nothing else we should know?
And he thinks for a moment and he says, I'll let Lacey O'Malley fill you in the details. At this point, you're about as far as I am, as far as what's going on. In any event, should your adventure lead you to Sean Fan, I'll meet you there. And he nods to you and puts a hand on your shoulder before riding off.
Go and rejoin the group and say you were supposed to wait here for Mr. O'Malley.
Now, he did say it'll happen, tomorrow. So it's just before dusk. You guys are basically at the edge of the railhead, and no one seems to be giving you more than a glance. They're all kind of busy. However, now the longer you stand there, the more attention you gather. So at this point, a man in a nice suit with a couple of guardsmen starts walking your way. And as they do, one of the automatons stops what he's doing and kind of joins the posse headed your direction.
Going to kind of sigh, shake my head left to right, and say Sifu.
And he approaches and he says, "Good evening, gentlefolk."
Good
Oh,
evening.
I'll again put my hands together and do the kung fu bow a little bit and say, "How fares the weather?"
And he's like,
There.
"Well," he wipes his brow a bit. "It's hot. It's summer. Hopefully fall's not too far away. But I must ask, you gentlemen, who do you work for?"
I have to say, as odd as it sounds, we're just here waiting for somebody, and apparently this is the only place that they could meet us.
"Do you mind if I ask who you're waiting for?"
I wish I knew. I just know that it's supposed to be a gentleman traveling alone. When he gets here, I'm supposed to somehow get his attention, and he's supposed to know who I am.
And you don't even know his name?
He's supposed to know all of that.
The guy kind of looks at you funny, and he looks at the rest of you and he's like, "And the rest of you the same?"
Oh, he's the one who's paying me, so.
Well, actually, you see, sir, I started waiting here, and then I met her. She was waiting for him, and him was waiting for him, and now we're waiting for the next person. Seems like kind of a game.
you notice that his
promise-
guardsmen start reaching for their weapons.
We
I'm
promise we mean you no
joking.
we promise we mean you no trouble, and we only mean to stay out of your way.
That's nice and all, but, well, how do I put this? We've been having some trouble with, some of our competitors, and, a couple of strays wandering the California desert happened to stumble across our railhead with curious instructions on what they're doing here, and, no clear answer coming from any of you. I think we might have a situation. You understand?
I'm going to have a less than thrilled look on my face and say, my Sifu left me instructions, and in layman's terms, that would just be my Kung Fu master.
Your Kung
as he
Fu master.
And again, as if expecting it, with the same kind of, yes, this shit is really happening. He's left me very specific instructions. Somehow they always seem to work out. Now
Not
he has me
specific
doing
enough.
this.
Okay,
Well-
well, I have a question for you then. We're just normal travelers waiting for people here to meet. I'm assuming do something, but anyway. The question is, do you just come up to random people, and if they don't give you a good enough answer, you beat the crap out of them? Like, do you do that to normal travelers? Is this something that happens into this town? So if you get visitors that are here to spit their hard-earned cash into your inns, you just beat the crap out
Well,
of them?
it's not a real town. It's like a tent town.
It's a camp.
Yeah,
It's work
Okay,
camp.
not 10 town, but... Okay, work camp then?
And he
So
said,
people looking
hey, he
for
just
work,
kind of,
you're just gonna beat the crap out of them?
he kind of looks at you for a moment, and he's chewing on his lip, and then he just kind of goes, yeah, kind of. He says, it's
At
a
least he's
tumultuous
honest.
time, you see. We, like I explained to you, we've been having difficulties with our competitors, and it seems like a pretty obvious ploy to send some hired muscle in to, well, spy on us.
The last time I checked, I don't work for any rail company, so
And we
Yeah.
wouldn't be very good at what we were doing if we were just standing here waiting for you to approach us.
man, the way we look, I don't know. I think you should be
I'm
able to
gonna
put two
turn
and two
to
together.
him. I'm gonna look at myself, look at him. Look at me. I have a D4 in strength, so I probably look very flimsy. Look at me. Do I look like a muscle guy that can muscle you guys away from your work? Do I look like the kind of guy that runs around shooting people in a camp full of armed guards? Look at on my person. Do I look like I have dynamite or anything? to
Okay,
blow stuff up?
okay,
What do you
Jesus,
expect
shut
me
up.
to do?
How about this? We'll split the middle. You guys will, you'll be my guests for a day or two. And we'll let my boss sort it out when he gets here.
I'll nod.
Food's scarce, so I hope you
Hey.
brought your own.
Just barely enough. We were told we shouldn't be waiting too terribly long.
And, I'll be needing your weapons. Sword, too.
Where, may I ask, you will be keeping them? This blade is not as easily replaceable as my shotgun.
If your, story checks out, you'll get them back.
That sounds iffy.
I mean, yeah, I was how many armed guards are there in this camp, Jakin?
A lot.
Well, that's unfortunate either way then.
And there's
Um,
automatons, and...
Yeah. They're digging. They don't got guns for arms.
Yeah.
I mean, they beat the shit out of you.
Well, I run a lot faster than the rest of you. But,
I like his answer. I can get
You
the
hope.
fuck out.
yeah, GTFOs. Works in every situation. But,
I have a feeling I'm just sitting on my horse anyway. Yeah.
yeah, okay. So, I'll take the shotgun off my back and hand it to the nearest armed guard, and I'll take the sword and I'll hand it over to the guy who's been talking to us.
He takes it, and this whole time he's got this look where he's just, you know, he's just got this obvious, like, he's trying to figure you out. You know, you're a curiosity to him in like an annoyed way, you know? So, yeah, you guys hand over your weapons? I mean, I know,
Yeah.
Kelvin did. Alright,
I mean,
I
I
guess
hand over
so.
my 2 pistols. You don't know what the hell I have on my horse.
that's fair. And they're like, alright, well, I got a cabin in the middle of this camp. We'll sit you up in there. if I catch any of you writing anything down, gonna have to have some more words.
Can I write those down?
Smart ass.
Yeah, make sure not to piss in the corner.
Alright, so you guys spend a tense evening surrounded by guards. Anywhere, the only place they let you go outside of the small cabin, it's a pretty crude cabin, is to the outhouse, and you have to have an armed escort. Whatever's going on here, they're a little on edge.
I asked him if he wants to hold it for me.
Yeah, you guys aren't earning yourselves any points.
Is there a river nearby?
can only pee in
No,
running
it's,
water.
it's no. The answer is no.
Okay, Matthew is gonna be annoying, but since there's no river, it's not gonna be annoying.
Oh, really? That's the one chance we get?
Yeah, well, it's because he wanted to drink his entire water skin to go to the bathroom, go fill it at the river, drink it entirely again, go back to the bathroom, just so on and so forth until the guard gets bored of escorting him.
Alright, so the
But,
next
I
morning,
can't do that, there's
it's
no river.
September 1st.
Oh, it's almost fall.
And as the morning stretches on, the work continues. But there's this excited energy. And you hear some exchanged words about a particular arrival that's supposed to be happening soon. And around 10 a.m., you guys hear what sounds like a train coming. But interestingly, it's not coming from the tracks.
It's coming from the sky.
It's a ghost train.
It's a hot air balloon train.
Okay, you're all wrong.
Is
It's
it
coming from the
Superman?
ground. Oh no, it's coming from underground.
The mole train.
You're still all wrong.
It's a ghost train.
You guys look
Ooh,
out,
the Soul Train.
and you spot what appears to be a train riding across the ground without any rails, headed for you from the north.
Oh
Headed
my-
towards you from the north.
Oh
Pink
my God,
train.
it's a car. That's
And as it comes in, everybody stops working and they start crowding around the train as it pulls into camp. And you guys find yourselves at the front of this large, like all the hundreds of workers have come over. And as soon as it stops, the excitement explodes and all the workers start cheering. And, the guards are even like cheering, and even the automatons, are standing there stoically, but they seem, excited about what's about to happen, if they could be excited. And
Someone flipped
eventually,
the excited emote.
this 3-card chain has a caboose in the back, and eventually the caboose door opens, and none other than Dr. Hellstrom strides out.
Motherfucker that was kidnapped?
What?
Is it the
No.
guy who was kidnapped? No? Okay.
Fuck no.
No one's been kidnapped. What are you talking?
From the train that we were on. That's
Oh.
the
No, he was
bandit.
killed. I died.
Oh, I thought they took him.
No, he died.
They killed
that
the scientist.
sucks.
Yeah, that guy's dead, surfer dead. Anyway, he rises out of the caboose on an elevated cupola, and he's got a megaphone in hand, and he clicks it, and he says, "Hello, my loyal friends! We've done it! We're a few miles and a right-of-way short of completing the first transcontinental railroad. You have been a part of this effort, a part of our company, and now you are a part of history." And there's a cheer. But there are a few miles left to travel, and there are perhaps the hardest miles yet. Connect this line to the tunnel to the east, and I will continue on to Los Angeles in our inevitable showdown with the Right Reverend Grimm and his fanatics. Mr. Buckner, please extend everyone here an additional month's pay for their amazing achievement, and open a few cases of champagne while you're at it. And at the sound of that, the whole camp just goes wild, and you're just it's like a party. And they tear into these stacks of crates that are holding champagne. And they start passing it out, and everyone's just, it's like, yeah, it's basically like just an impromptu party explodes. And you can see Hellstrom's rather pleased with himself. And as you do that, also out of the caboose, you spot a man wearing a vest and a cap, and he seems to be writing all this down in a big notebook. And just to make things easy, Mad Dog, since you were once in Tombstone, you recognize this guy as Lacey O'Malley.
Oh, it's that one guy who writes for the empathy.
Epitaph.
Epitaph.
Well, that would be who we're looking for.
Yes.
Yeah, Lacey old Frowley. He's
I'll-
Lacey old Showley.
Yeah, and then I'll shout back over my shoulder, close, and I'll start working my way through the crowd.
I take my fist and start punching through the crowd, taking some champagne and punch. Nah, I just walk through the crowd.
Yeah, I know. Alright, so you guys work your way through, and he doesn't really seem to notice you guys, so...
Oh.
Eventually, Hellstrom comes down, and he shakes O'Malley's hand, and, do you guys want to try to get O'Malley's attention?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
why
yeah.
not? I pull
So
out
you
a
guys
gun.
shout, and eventually he kind of looks over while he was talking to Hellstrom, and he sees the four of you come forward, and he's got this bewildered look. He takes a step off the train so he can hear you, and he goes, "Can I help you?"
Sifu Bohai.
I know him.
And we're gonna kind of nod and tilt my head forward. I promise you, the four of us weren't helping build tracks. He left us here for you, so that you
Oh!
have instruction for us.
He nods. Right. And he says, Dr. Hellstrom. These are those gentlemen and madame I was telling you about on the way over here. And he's like, oh, yes, of course. Normally, I would be opposed to bringing in new passengers on this historic journey, but go ahead, climb aboard, you four. Any friend of O'Malley's today is a friend of mine.
Would we be able to reacquire our arms before leaving them behind in the fair company of your workers?
Hellstrom just kind of waves us like, of course, go, someone get these men their guns and whatever.
And lady.
And lady, of course.
No, you're a guy.
And at that, he's kind of waving you off, and he walks back in his caboose. And yeah, so eventually someone brings you back your equipment, and you climb aboard. Unfortunately, there's no room for your horses, so you're gonna have to leave them in their tender care. But now that they know you're a friend of Hellstrom, they're sure to not mistreat him.
They see the four of us getting on after being so weird, and that like he figures it out, and he goes, "Fuck."
I just got 2 seconds here. It's like, do I want my fucking rifle or not? Well, I guess I'll just leave the rifle.
Leave it on leave it on your horse.
Yeah, let's leave it on the horse. I gotta raise my strength to bring that damn thing.
Alright, and it doesn't take long before Hellstrom's very special train starts heading towards Los Angeles.
Kinda just look out there and like, this is the weirdest fucking thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, I'm sure we're all kind of bewildered.
Oh, and this train is called the Good Intentions.
So are we flying right? Or no, we're not flying. Are we going across the desert, or are we on the tracks right now?
You're
Going
still
across
across
the
the desert. Yeah, doesn't care about tracks.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be like, you guys have no problem with me smoking a cigar, right?
One guy who introduces himself as Charlie Buckner, who appears to be in charge of protection on this train, he says, "Light it up.
Like pussy.
We're celebrating."
So this seems like an interesting workaround to the first to get a rail to the city.
O'Malley.
If that is your...
O'Malley, you're not talking to Hellstrom. Hellstrom's on the caboose.
Oh.
Yeah, but O'Malley smiles and he says, well, they've been tunneling through the mountains for a while now, and we just broke ground. So in a
But you
matter
still
of a
have-
day or two, this railway will be complete. From Denver to Los Angeles. All the way.
And it seems like the other railways are aware of this, given the amount of munitions we're led to believe they've been transporting out here.
He raises his eyebrows and he goes, that should be interesting.
So you're not aware?
Well, I've been underground for a while. A week or so at least.
Yeah, from what we've managed to piece together in just our personal travels, it seems that the other railways, for what reason or another, are aware that there is somebody closing in on the completion of a railway.
He nods, and he's like, yeah, it doesn't surprise me. They've got spies all throughout everything. Me, I'm just here to record a little bit of history. And after he says that, he glances at Calebin and shoots him a wink.
I grin and say, so then... oh, my
And then
god,
you
I'm
die.
dying. But,
Yeah,
see, there it
that was
happened.
Good story, bro.
Yeah. Shortest-lived character. But, what possible need could you have for us if all your purpose here is to write it down?
He kind of smirks and he says, well, I need someone to carry all my paperwork.
I'll shake my head side to side again and say Sifu.
Okay, well, other than that, what was the old doctor there talking about with the Reverend and the fanatics?
You guys aren't familiar with Los Angeles?
Well, I know that the first person to build a railway to Los Angeles gets ownership of the Ghost Rock.
Right.
But
Well, for whatever reason, the good Reverend does not want the first person to be Dr. Hellstrom. I don't know the man's dealings, but there you have it.
so I'm gonna guess we're gonna probably meet with a nice, decent welcoming, per se.
Yeah, it should be interesting.
Gonna take out 2 of my guns and load the 6th bullet.
He smiles as you do that. And he looks at the 4 of you and he goes, so, you all know that, Mr. Bohai?
I look at Kelvin.
Sifu Bohai is my master.
He
The rest of
nods.
them have only recently been introduced to him.
No, I see. I see. You know, I think I read something about your activities in Deccan.
Oh yes? Quite the charming picture, wasn't it?
And he's like, well, I appreciate people who can get, you know, things into the right hands.
Oh no, I'd say, and as long as I can stay out of the law's hands, I should be fine.
Well, you won't have to worry
bad
about that
God
on
it
this
was
journey.
enough.
Although law goes out the windows when the bullets start flying, that's for sure. So, are you guys fans of the epitaph?
Find it to
I
be
got-
very informative.
I got a couple jobs out of it before.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He nods. Interesting.
Don't make me try to really remember them. I'm not too fan of I guess the weird.
He just nods.
Now let me ask you a question. Do you know I don't remember their names, Jenkins, but the Springfield brothers?
That's their
I
names.
guess I could just say that. Yeah, do you know the Springfield brothers?
I hear they're wanted in a number of counties and states. Other than that, why?
Oh, I'm not gonna lie. We have, I have. If I look at the rest of the group, I kind of had to work with them in a way. They seem to be dealing with the more. I look down at this train, more of this stuff, I guess.
He
You know,
nods.
weird.
He says, "Well, if you don't mind me asking, what did you and the Springfield brothers accomplish?"
I won't make the tale too long, but I tell them like, well, you wouldn't be too surprised that the first time that we heard of them, at least I heard of them, the group I used to travel with, the first thing we tried to do was go after the bounty ourselves. Kind of finding that once we finally met the two men, they're a little bit more well equipped than we thought, so changed the situation. We went ahead and asked them what they were doing in the place that we met them, which of course I don't fucking remember the name. And it seems like they're hunting vampires.
Vampires. Oh, that's good writing. And he jots that down. What about the rest of you? You guys encounter anything weird and mysterious in the West?
Matthew, being a big mouth like he is, well, there was this weird red mist.
Tell me about it.
All manners of hands and heads that shaped out of it was really angry and quite dangerous, to be honest. It seems to be bound to desecrated battlefields.
Fascinating. And did you guys dispatch it, or?
It's a long-term case.
I got you. What about you, ma'am? Just along for the ride?
I've had my share of supernatural, but nothing I care to go into detail. At this moment, I am along for the ride.
Fair enough, fair enough. And he looks down and starts jotting in his paper. You're racing along when you hear a massive explosion off to your left. The Good Intentions rocks over on its side and then settles back down on the rails with a screech. Oh, it wasn't the rails. My bad. Earth and stone shower down on the roof, and you hear the unmistakable sound of Gatling guns. And that is where we're going to go to our second break for the night.
And
Fired.
that's when we all die. Everybody reroll a character.
Well, it's been fun, guys.
Alright, so we will come back at 18 or 19 after. We're kind of in the middle of 13, so yeah, 18 or 19 after, and we will see what has become of the Good Intentions and our posse.